Now, we've been told, we've heard the stories, you're only using 10% of your brain, you're only using 20% of the brain. That is from the realm of personal development, because truly there's not like recesses of your brain that are just off, just hiding out in the corner, not doing anything. Our entire brain, we have whole brain functioning. Now, this brings to the point of like, what is it though? The truth is we don't know how to use our brains very well. So that capacity to use 95% more of our potential is there, absolutely. But just please understand, your brain is not some separatist organism that's just some things operating in a vacuum. It's all working together for our good, but we've never been given an owner's manual on how all this stuff works. And it starts with food. What you eat creates your brain cells. What you eat creates your neurons, your dendrites, the axon terminals, the gray matter, the white matter, the myelin sheaths. All of that is made from what you eat. Now, here's the thing. Everything you eat does not directly go to your brain, even though your brain, and I really want you to get this, it's only about 2% of your body's mass, but it consumes about 25 to 30% of the calories you consume. You have a hungry, ravenous brain. What you eat directly, your brain is getting first dibs. So what you put in there matters. Because of the nature of what we're able to put into our bodies, you know, humans have tried to eat everything throughout our evolution. We also have to have protection internally for our brain as well. And we have a very highly sophisticated internal security system guarding your brain. It's called the blood-brain barrier. The blood-brain barrier. Now, this is a very thin sheath of cells, but it is remarkably intelligent. And it's allowing only specific nutrients to pass through and get exclusive access into the VIP section of your body, right? That's what your brain really is. And so what are those foods? This is neuronutrition. And these are the things we're talking about today that can truly take your incredible brain, the most complex, powerful entity in the known universe, and turn it up a notch. Turn it up 10 notches, 10,000, put in a hyperspeed, right? We have this concept in our culture, like the limitless pill, like there's something you could do to activate more of your brain's potential. These principles are so powerful, so profound, but unfortunately, most folks have not been given this very simple owner's manual on how all this stuff works. And today we're gonna go from the very bare bone basics to the things that add in that extra level of performance that most folks don't know about. All right, so we're gonna start at the very foundation of what creates the human brain and the brain's performance. Your brain, you've probably heard this before, but we're gonna take this to another level today. Your brain is mostly made of water. It's upwards of about 80% water. Your brain is actually the consistency of soft butter. A recent study cited in Medicine and Science and Sports and Exercise that I highlight in Eat Smarter found that just a 2% drop in your body's baseline hydration level can lead to impairment in mental tasks requiring your attention, motor coordination, and executive functions. So this is the prefrontal cortex determining your ability to problem solve. They mention things like map recognition goes down. So just finding your way around. I know we've got the GPS now. All right, but do you remember when you just used to have to find something? All right, our ability to do that plummets. Grammatical reasoning, proofreading, mental math, all of those things, just a 2% drop in our optimal hydration rate causes these side effects. Tell me again what kind of pill you're looking for to make your brain work better. It starts with water. It's foundational because all of your neurons, your dendrites and axon terminals, the things that I mentioned earlier, these are all operating in a water medium. It's how everything is communicating and being moved throughout your brain is based on a water superhighway. Now, here's something really cool. This is going to take this from the foundational level up a notch. It's not just water in of itself. Your brain, the blood-brain barrier, has superhighways, express pathways for water to get to your brain because it's that important. All right, so when you're hydrating, when you're drinking that water, hopefully you're getting a little thirsty right now. When you're guzzling that water, just know like, oh man, this is definitely going right to my brain because that hungry brain of yours is very, very dedicated to ensuring that it's getting the water that it needs. Now, here's the thing, and I've been talking about this for many years now. Nationwide, worldwide, the public at large gets access to this information. That's the virility of a book and the ability to get into people's hands that in other circumstances wouldn't get access to this information. It's very, very powerful and special. But when I was in school, even in my traditional university classes, I was taught the importance of H2O. We were taught water is H2O. But the truth is, H2O does not exist anywhere in nature. It doesn't exist anywhere in nature. Now, I know you're like, what is he talking about? Water is known as the universal solvent. You will not find H2O by itself anywhere in nature. It's always integrated with other things, namely minerals, right? So it's H2O with other things dissolved into it. Constantly, that's what's happening in nature, right? So do we want to drink pure H2O? No, absolutely not. Humans have never drank pure H2O. It's always H2O with other things integrated into it. And so we do have systems of cleaning our water, of course, that we want to be mindful of to eliminate pathogens and potential chemicals and things like that. So we could do reverse osmosis or whatever the case might be. There's many different ways to go about finding clean water sources, but we have to be mindful that water needs structure. Your water and your brain need the number one thing that should be coming along with your water, which is electrolytes. For example, sodium. Not only does this electrolyte help to maintain proper water balance, so number one, it helps to maintain the water balance in your brain. You need sodium for this purpose. These electrolytes are, and even listen to the word, light, right? We lighten it up. Electrolytes. These are minerals that carry an electric charge. What kind of currency is your brain running on? These electrical currencies. The human brain is critically dependent upon electrolytes to send electric signals throughout all the cells in your brain. This is how important electrolytes are. It's not just about, we know about it from the commercials, we got the sweat, we need to get the electrolytes. Your brain primarily is going to be looking for these electrolytes to keep the lights on. So in mentioning sodium, and this is one of the cool studies that's highlighted in Eat Smarter, researchers at McGill University found that sodium literally functions as an on-off switch in the brain for specific neurotransmitters that support optimal function and protect the brain against numerous diseases. All right, this is how important these electrolytes are. It's like an on-off switch for your brain to actually do processes and protect itself. In our culture, sodium and salt are synonymous because salt is our greatest source in our diets of sodium, but they're two different things, right? Sodium chloride. So we want to be aware of that little distinction, but we do want to be aware that salt historically, and we actually dive into that in depth in Eat Smarter, it's been one of the most valuable things in human evolution is sources of salt. But the salt that most of us get in our diets is from processed foods. That is a heavily refined, just denatured, processed, toxicant added, fillers and preservatives. Not that kind of salt. We're talking about real salt from nature, right? There's so many different types of high quality salt, but this might be something you might want to add to your water to provide it some structure and also to provide those electrolytes for your brain. Also, of course, natural foods are abundant. They're absolutely abundant in electrolytes, particularly fruits and vegetables. So this is just one electrolyte, but I cannot not tell you this. You've got to know this one today. There is another massively overlooked and underestimated electrolyte that affects so many different parts of our performance and our biology overall. And specifically today, you're going to know how important it is for the function and performance of your brain. A fascinating new study published in the journal Neuron found that magnesium is able to restore critical brain plasticity and improve cognitive performance. This electrolyte is able to literally restore brain plasticity. And brain plasticity is the ability of your brain to adapt and to change. This was a thing that was believed to not be possible for many years. That the brain, you got what you got. You got what you got, and it's just degradation from there on out. However, today we know that we can improve the brain. We can grow new brain cells in certain parts of the brain, and your brain can evolve and change and grow and adapt. Magnesium is critical in this performance. And here's another one. A double-blind, placebo-controlled study published in the Journal of Alzheimer's Disease found that improving magnesium levels in adult test subjects, these were folks at risk in their elderly years, so around between 50 and 70, could potentially reverse brain aging by over 9 years. Improving their magnesium levels could reverse brain aging by over 9 years. This is something you just don't hear about. Even with Alzheimer's, it's just largely considered to be, there's nothing you can do about it. You can try to slow it down. We're starting to finally understand there are things we can do to help to reverse and protect the brain, but also reverse the degradation. Magnesium is critical in this. It's another powerful electrolyte, but magnesium, as I'm really highlighting throughout Eat Smarter in relationship to metabolism, cognitive performance, our emotional intelligence, it's an important anti-stress buffer. But it's responsible for over 650 biochemical processes we're aware of. Just a couple years ago, it was 350 that we knew about, we can confirm. Now 650. And that means it's 650 things your body cannot do or do properly without adequate levels of magnesium. Guess what the #1 mineral deficiency is in our country? Magnesium. About 60% of the population is chronically deficient in this powerful anti-stress, brain fortifying mineral. We have to change it. People are walking around with brains that are just not working right and wondering why we can't get along and we can't ask questions. We can't have high level, evolved, intelligent conversations. We have to get our brains healthier so we can make this stuff happen. It's not that it's impossible. If our brain health isn't well, it just makes it harder.